Let me take you step by step through recovering of replaced file on Windows when you might have accidentally overwrote the important document. The fastest way to do it is use ONEDRIVE Version History, but it only works if your file is on OneDrive. To do this from File Explorer, you need to right-click on the file, select OneDrive, View Online, and select Version History. If you're doing it from OneDrive's web interface, you need to right-click on the file, select Version History, and restore the previous version. And the best thing is that cloud versions survive even device loss and let you roll back a single file without touching anything else. Another cool thing is that if the file was deleted, you can open the recycle bin and select the item and select Restore. To restore accidentally overwritten files, you can try System Restore. It rolls Windows System files and settings back to the earlier restore point. To access System Restore, type System Restore in the search bar. In System Properties dialog box, click System Restore, navigate through the wizard, and select the restore point you are trying to recover to. Click Finish to complete the restore. Here's the tip for you. Before you restore, copy the current version of the file elsewhere so you can compare afterwards. To restore accidentally overwritten files, you can also use free data recovery tools. But you need to act fast. The best thing to do is to stop using the drive, close all the apps, pause downloads, go to Microsoft Store, and search for WinFR. Another great tool is Recuva, which is also free. What you want to do here, you want to install and run it on a different drive. Scan the source drive, preview and recover to an external drive. After the installation, Recuva launches the wizard and helps you walk through to restore your accidentally overwritten file. And here are the golden rules of data recovery. Make sure you recover to a different drive than the one you're scanning. And if the data is mission critical or the disk is failing, stop DIY and contact professional recovery services. I'll take you step by step how to turn on autosave in Microsoft Office files and set up a version history. When you create a new document in Microsoft Office, you can turn on autosave in the upper left corner. The best way to ensure autosave is to store your file on OneDrive. The biggest benefit of autosave in Microsoft Office is that it creates frequent per-document checkpoints while you work. It supports co-authoring, and it lets you restore from inside Microsoft Office. For example, if autosave is turned on, like it is for this document, and I keep making changes, as I'm working on the Chief Financial Officer resume, I'm going to replace a placeholder in Professional Overview section with the actual information. Because autosave switch was on, Word automatically saved the changes into OneDrive's version of the document. And you can see the history of changes if you navigate to File, Info, Version History, and then see the timeline for all the changes. You can see visually how placeholder was replaced with actual information. And you can switch between different versions of the information on the right using the Version History tab. There are three important considerations for Microsoft Office files management. Office Autosave creates fine-grained versions while you edit. OneDrive's Version History stores these versions in the cloud, plus recycle tenant-wide restore. To access Version History on OneDrive, you select the file, and in the menu, select the Version History. In this dialog box, all the file versions show up, and you can right-mouse click on the particular version and select Open File. So why would you want to use Windows OneDrive Sync and Backup? Why would you want to turn it on? Let me share with you multiple reasons why you might consider doing this. You can keep files in sync across the devices. For example, if you have multiple computers, edits made on one Windows computer appear automatically on your other signed-in device. For example, if you have documents folders synced to OneDrive, you can access documents from one computer as well as your alternative logged-in computer. You can also access OneDrive files from the browser. All you need to do is log in to OneDrive.com. You can also access your files on mobile devices. OneDrive has iOS as well as Android app where you can access all your files. Enabling OneDrive also enables file history on all your documents. To access file history, you need to access your file on OneDrive and select Version History. Here you can see all the changes and you can roll back to the previous version. Here's another trick. You also build in safety net for your mistakes. For example, if you accidentally deleted your file on your PC, you can access and restore this file in Recycle Bin. Well, having files in Recycle Bin and restoring files through Recycle Bin is a known fact and shouldn't surprise anybody. But what might be a surprise is that you also have Recycle Bin on your OneDrive. And when you delete the file, you also have Version History for Recycle Bin. And it captures both deletes, the one I just did on the desktop, as well as the one I just did through OneDrive. Isn't this cool? And then another cool thing, if you restore the file through OneDrive, it preserves version history. All of these cool features help protect your device against loss. Because all your files and their versions live in the cloud, not just on one PC. So lost or broken laptop isn't really a data loss, and you can use your OneDrive to roll the whole library back, even after big incidents like ransomware or mass file overwrites. Let me walk you through how to set up OneDrive file history and version control in Windows. First, we would need to sign in and enable known folder backup. To do this, you need to navigate to Settings, Accounts, Windows Backup, OneDrive Folder Syncing, and Setup Syncing. Windows might prompt you to verify your account. I am going to click on Setup Syncing to enable connection to OneDrive. Here on the screen, you need to select which email account you're going to use to sign in and click Sign In. On the next screen, you would need to set up your local OneDrive folder. By default, the folder will be located under C Users, then your username, and will be called OneDrive. If you're not happy with this choice, you can choose another location and select the location you're looking for. I'm going to proceed with the default choice and click Next. On the next screen, you need to decide which folders do you want to back up to OneDrive. Windows files inside OneDrive are synced to the cloud, where version history is kept automatically. You will get even more advantages if you're using Microsoft Office. Microsoft Office auto-saves files and creates frequent checkpoints. I am going to choose the default selection for Documents, Pictures, and Desktop and click Start Backup. I'm going to skip the upgrade. Free plan gives me 5 GB of storage, which is plenty for me. And once connection is established, you can move files into your OneDrive folder. You can drag and drop them, copy and paste, or select Move to OneDrive so files are uploaded to cloud and available on other devices as well. If you launch File Explorer, you will see Link to OneDrive on the upper left. Here you see 3 folders we've selected, Desktop, Documents, and Pictures, being synced with OneDrive. Because after our setup, Windows is syncing Documents folder, to enable backup and version history, all you need to do is drag and drop the folder into the Documents. To do this, I'm going to navigate to C, where I have Demo folder. I'm going to select Cut, navigate to Documents folder, and do Paste. And now this folder is being synced to OneDrive. If you look closely, you see a green checkmark in the status column. It's applicable to files and folders, and this is an indication that the sync to OneDrive was successful. All files inside the folder also are being synced. If you navigate to the demo folder, you see that all subfolders and files inside that folder are also being synced. Once you've established a connection, you can see OneDrive's files and folders using web interface. I'll snap Windows to put Edge browser and File Explorer side by side. If you sort both by name, you see that the folders and files match exactly. And if you want to go deeper on the topic, make sure to watch this video next.